proposition you can make tonight that can make a difference in this conversation?
Obviously, yes, what is happening undermines our democracy. It's an auction of our democracy to the highest bidder. It cannot be tolerated. It's unacceptable. There obviously could be cooperation, but there ought to be a radical departure from the way we have approached things over the years. I think that the way to go about it is to target the candidates and not the delegates. I mean, the delegates, you cannot take 4,000 or 20,000 or 100,000 delegates to jail. But you can monitor the 275 members of parliament. You can also monitor the presidential candidates because they spend. I mean, if you look at the pull factors, the candidates are actually the fulcrum on which the corruption is built, and not the delegates. And so, in any legislation, any attempt to control the canker must target those people. And countries have done that. Now, you have to look at three key things in a legislation. Transparency, that whatever the candidate is doing during the campaign period, and so a campaign period must be determined, how monies can be spent, and somebody must be there monitoring what the candidate, whether it's a parliamentary candidate or a presidential candidate, is doing, how much that presidential candidate is spending.
And how much you can spend.
And I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Then two, there must be disclosures.
Okay.
Who is contributing to the campaign fund of the candidate? I mean, is he lodging the money in the bank? Is he making the accounts of, his campaign funds, or the accounts of his campaign funds or his bank accounts available for scrutiny? I mean, the legislation must target that. That you cannot just receive money from a donor and then spend the money. You must first of all channel the money through, a receptacle, and then you will have a body established to track how you spend the money. And thirdly, if you spend more, then you must have a Sarkozy. You know what happened in France?
Yeah.
So you are supposed to spend money. So that's where you come in, the cap. So there's a cap. You can't spend more than 100,000 Ghana cedis in an election. If you spend more, then you have to answer where the more is coming from. That is the accountability. So, in Trump, he was also supposed to spend the campaign funds. What did he do? He falsified company documents to admit of the campaign funds in order to divert it. And so there must be laws. And when you are caught, you must be punished. The sanctions are there. You must be punished. And there must be periodic reporting on how you utilize those monies. Periodic. And that accounts must be available for anybody. We are lucky to have the Right to Information Act. Anybody. And so if a candidate spends more than, one, he is allowed to spend. Two, he is not reported the expenditure. Three, he has, hidden the expenditure. That clearly will be, that third part will be money laundering. You are laundering it. You're hiding the source of the expenditure. And there are consequences for that. So we must move away from targeting delegates to targeting the candidates. They're just few. When you do that, you should be able to rein in this canker.